Hello, Sheer fifth graders. This is Mrs. Mitchell. Today is Tuesday, April the 14th, and this is your direct instruction for English Language Arts. We are going to be jumping into short read 1 of Unit 8. This read has been assigned to you via Google Classroom. If you have not yet signed into Clever, please do that so that you can be ready to read and annotate this text on your own. First, I'm going to just have you skim the text and kind of hone in on some important aspects, such as what do you notice about the text? What kind of information do you think that you will learn from it? So this kind of sets up your purpose for reading. I'm going to pull up the short reads so that I can do this along with you. Some important things to look at before you actually start reading is the title, the subtitle, any pictures that you see, and any captions that go with the pictures. So I need to first, identify what the word famine means. For those of you who have never heard this word famine, it might be a good idea for us to actually figure out what its true definition is. So a famine is an extreme scarcity of food or a shortage of something, and I see the word scarcity popping up. So that basically tells us that this is going to be about a water shortage. Now it says a Native American legend told by Gary Thompson. So it's important to understand that both ancient and modern cultures have stories that explain how the world works. And this is an example of exactly that. Native Americans did not understand how the world worked, and so they would create fictional stories to try and answer those questions. And I'm also going to just go back to this really quick, and I want us to understand that, and I'm going to model for you in case you forgot how to find key details. And key details are meant to answer questions about a text, such as what, who, where, and why. And then at the end, once you have collected all of those important key details, the main idea is what you create to summarize those key details. So I am going to model this for you in a minute, but I wanted to point out that your must-dos for today are that you are going to read or listen to short read 1, the water famine. As you read, you're going to identify and list the key details of the text. And then you're going to use the key details that you have identified to write a summary of the text. Now, I have linked your must-do onto this slide. It has also been assigned to you through Google Classroom, and your teachers would prefer that you use Google Classroom and submit your work when you're done, so it's very easy for us to go in and see who has done it and who has not done it. But I'm going to pull this up. This is going to force you to make a copy. You're going to hit make a copy, and then over here, so I'm going to just jump in. So the water famine, you're going to list out your key details, and then you're going to summarize at the end. That is your must-do for today. Your may-dos are that these text-dependent questions, number 1 and number 2, are directly related to your short read today. And I'm going to open that up so you can see what it says. It's going to also make you make a copy. And you're not focusing on any other questions except number 1 and number 2 because they directly relate to our short read today. Okay, so see how it says short read 1, the water famine? These are the text-dependent questions that they have asked you. Now, to be clear, it says use evidence from the text to support your answers. That means they want you to go back into the text and actually type in a quote from the text, okay? Finding text evidence is a really important standard in 5th grade. So this question says, according to the Penobscot Indians, why do bullfrogs have broken backs? The second question is reread paragraph 2, cite an example of figurative language, and explain what it describes. So remember our lesson way back when about figurative language is they're basically using language that paints a picture in your mind, is really descriptive, but isn't necessarily very direct language. So it's kind of, it talks around a topic. So they want you to find that figurative language and explain what it is describing. Okay, back to this. So I'm going to pull up the short read. Oh, by the way, benchmark leveled readers have all been assigned to you on Benchmark Universe. So if you do not want to do your text dependent questions, you can also just read a leveled reader instead. So once you have gone to Clever, gone to Benchmark Universe, pulled up your assignment here and you've got your short read in front of you, it's a good idea to use these tools on the side to help you to underline important key details. I'm going to model paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. So here we go. The water famine, a Native American legend retold by Gary Thomas. The Penobscot Indians from central Maine are one of many Native American tribes that formed the Wabanaki Confederacy. The tribal name means Rocky Point. The tribe lived along the south branch of the Penobscot River that flows into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, as I'm skimming the text, I'm noticing there's an Indian who looks to take up a sizable amount of the page. I'm guessing he's a pretty important character, and it looks like his name is Gluskaby. Okay, so I'm going to have the machine read the first 2 paragraphs, and I'm going to try and focus in on just the key details. Okay, so first, paragraph 1 tells the problem that the people are having. I'm going to write as a key detail, where is that document? I'm going to write as a key detail right here, monster bullfrog forbade, which means to tell them that they cannot. They forbade the people. You have to excuse my bad typing. To use the river, so they were dying of thirst. Okay, it's really important to identify what the problem is in the text. And that's the first really important event. Okay, next, think about what the next paragraph brought up. Next, the people did what? What did they do? They came up with a way to help solve their problem, right? This key event is also in paragraph 1. On line 2, it says, and I will write it in my key events. Next, the people called on their spirit chief, Gluskaby, to help. Okay, that's an important key detail. Paragraph 2 describes the conversation the people have with Gluscabee. This is not a new event, so I'll keep on reading. Okay, so there's your model for keeping track of your key details as you read. Okay, hopefully this is helpful for you. We will meet today in the Zoom room at 10:40. Make sure that you jot down any questions that you may have, and we will be there to help you. Okay, talk to you guys soon.